Ohio may seem like a land of farmlands, rivers, and small towns, but hidden within its soil and shadows are mysteries that stretch far beyond imagination. This state has stories that refuse to fade, puzzles that even modern science cannot fully solve, and legends that continue to haunt anyone who dares to look too closely. The Newark Earthworks, vast geometric patterns carved into the ground, align flawlessly with lunar cycles that take nearly 2 decades to complete. How could ancient builders achieve such precision without modern tools? Along the Ohio River, whispers still tell of Captain Kidd's treasure, buried in secret, waiting for a lucky soul bold enough to find it. Then there are the creatures. The Loveland Frogman, a strange amphibian humanoid spotted by police and locals. Bessie, the Lake Erie monster that surfaces every few decades. And the Grassman, Ohio's own Bigfoot, said to stalk the forests with terrifying growls. And who can forget the Circleville letters? A series of anonymous messages that revealed personal secrets, shattered lives, and left behind a trail of fear with no true culprit ever found. Ohio is far more mysterious than it seems, so let's explore. The Great Serpent Mound, Ohio's ancient enigma. In the serene countryside of southern Ohio, where the clamor of civilization fades like a distant memory, lies a remarkable enigma that has perplexed humankind for centuries. At first glance, from a soaring vantage point, the Great Serpent Mound reveals itself as a colossal serpent slithering gracefully across the rolling hills, its majestic body twisting and coiling in 7 grand curves. Its wide head, eternally poised, holds an egg-shaped mound in its jaws, as if time has frozen at the moment of its strike. Stretching an astonishing 1,300 feet, this monumental effigy is the product of human craftsmanship rather than nature's whimsy. Yet the questions persist. Who was its creator? What drove them to construct such an intricate masterpiece? And how did they accomplish this feat with precision thousands of years ago? The answers remain elusive, hidden within the folds of history, waiting to be uncovered. The first encounter with the Serpent Mound is nothing short of overwhelming. Standing atop the ridge where it lies, one cannot take in the entirety of this magnificent creature in a single glance. Its form undulates across the landscape, compelling you to trace its curves step by step, allowing the enormity of this ancient marvel to seep into your consciousness. From ground level, it appears as a simple rise of grass and soil, yet from above, it transforms into a grand sculpture, as if the builders had intended not merely to create a monument, but to inscribe a message into the very language of the earth itself. The serpent's history is shrouded in mystery. When early settlers stumbled upon it in the 18th century, they marveled and pondered, unable to comprehend who could have constructed such an expansive effigy. Was it the work of mythical giants, or perhaps a lost civilization whose understanding of the world surpassed contemporary knowledge? As archaeologists began to delve into the mound's secrets, their findings only deepened the enigma. Unlike other ancient structures scattered through Ohio, the Serpent Mound contained no burial sites, no treasures, and no artifacts to anchor it to a specific culture. It stood there, silently enigmatic, offering no straightforward answers. Numerous theories have emerged regarding its origin. Some assert that the Adena culture, renowned for their burial mounds in the region, erected it nearly 2,300 years ago, while others advocate for the Hopewell, known for their mastery of astronomy and engineering from over 1,500 years ago. Still, another perspective points to the Fort ancient peoples who inhabited the area nearly a millennium ago. Radiocarbon dating of the mound's soil has only intensified the debate, yielding results that span centuries. The serpent, it seems, is determined to keep the identity of its creators a secret. The alignment of the Serpent Mound adds another layer of intrigue. Its head points directly toward the setting sun during the summer solstice, while other curves align with equinoxes and lunar cycles. Such precise orientation suggests an extraordinary level of celestial observation, attainable only by the most devoted sky watchers of the time. How could these ancient peoples, devoid of telescopes or written records, have manifested such astronomical knowledge into the very soil? This thought evokes a mix of awe and discomfort, as if the ancient builders were whispering secrets of the cosmos through the earth. Why a serpent? This question lurks as a shadow over every theory. A symbol of rebirth in many cultures, the serpent sheds its skin and embodies the cycles of death, danger, and the underworld. In various Native American traditions, serpents are connected to water, fertility, and the rhythms of nature. Some interpret the egg clutched in the serpent's mouth as a representation of the sun or the cycle of life itself, while others perceive it as a cosmic warning, a drama etched in earth and grass. Yet the true meaning remains cloaked in mystery, leaving every interpretation as mere conjecture. Walking along the serpent today, one can feel the weight of its mystery pressing down. The air is hushed, and even the birds seem muted. Locals recount peculiar sensations near the mound. Strange lights flickering in the sky, compasses spinning as if influenced by an unseen energy emanating from the earth. Some assert that the mound sits atop a site of immense geological power, where magnetic anomalies ripple through the ground. Could it be that the ancient builders possessed a knowledge of this place, a comprehension of the forces beneath their feet that modern science is only beginning to unveil? Or is this yet another layer of myth surrounding an already perplexing enigma? Whispers of extraterrestrial involvement also permeate the air. The astonishing precision of the serpent's alignments, its complex construction, and the absence of artifacts leads some to speculate that the builders may have received assistance or knowledge from beyond our realm. While skeptics dismiss such claims as mere fantasy, believers cling to them as the only plausible explanation. They argue that the serpent serves as a marker, a beacon, perhaps even a missive left not just for its creators, but for future generations. Moreover, the Serpent Mound has been linked to catastrophic events. Some researchers propose that a massive meteorite impact crater lies beneath the region, suggesting that the builders may have chosen this site as a memorial to a celestial catastrophe. If this holds true, the mound could represent humanity's oldest tribute to a cosmic disaster. Legends linger about the mound like ethereal mist. Tales are told of shadowy figures wandering the ridges at night, whispers carried by the winds, and shadows flitting where they ought not to be. Some visitors recount a profound unease, as if unseen eyes are watching. Others feel an overwhelming sense of peace, perceiving the mound as a sacred site that bridges the living with the spiritual realm. Whether one experiences fear or reverence, all agree the serpent pulses with an enigmatic vitality. Even in our modern age, the mound defies understanding. Archaeologists tirelessly study it, utilizing radar scans and soil analysis, measuring its alignments with increasing accuracy. Yet for every answer unveiled, new questions emerge. The serpent coils not only through the land, but also through our minds, ensnaring us in spirals of speculation, always just beyond the grasp of certainty. What is undisputed is this: the Serpent Mound stands unique. While effigy mounds exist globally, none match its vastness, precision, or mystery. It remains a testament not only to its creators, but also to the very nature of mystery itself. Within its silence, it compels us to confront the limits of our understanding, reminding us that chapters of humanity's history remain unwritten, perhaps forever inscrutable. Thus, the serpent endures, its mouth eternally agape, its body forever coiled upon the ridge, patient and silent, awaiting our comprehension. Yet, maybe understanding is not its true purpose. Perhaps it was never intended to be explained. Instead, it beckons us to feel, to wonder, and to immerse ourselves in awe. As you stand upon the mound, the vast sky above and the firm earth below, you cannot help but feel small. Caught between forces that transcend your existence, you gaze across the serpent's curves as the question rises once more, unbidden: who crafted this, and what was their intent? The answer eludes you, leaving only the profound silence of the earth and the unblinking gaze of the serpent, frozen in time, guarding its secrets for eternity. The Newark Earthworks, Ohio's ancient geometric puzzle. In the heart of Ohio, where the whispering winds dance over gently rolling farmlands, a secret lies buried beneath the verdant grass. It is a remnant of a civilization long forgotten, a reminder of a time when the earth was shaped not just by nature, but by hands that dreamed beyond the horizon. Rising above the peaceful plains, the Newark Earthworks, a marvel of ancient engineering, reveals its grandeur to those willing to look closely. From the ground, they appear as simple mounds, yet from above they form intricate geometric patterns, giant circles, octagons, and parallel walls that stretch across miles, a testament to human ingenuity crafted without metal tools or modern technology. As one walks through the Great Circle, a sprawling expanse encircling nearly 1,200 feet, the air vibrates with an energy that seems to echo the laughter of long-gone gatherings. The walls, carefully shaped, rise like gentle giants, while a shallow moat snakes along the inner edge, hinting at purposes both ceremonial and defensive. Nearby, the octagon earthwork stands solemnly, its precise angles remaining steadfast even after centuries of time's relentless march. To ponder the effort invested in constructing these earthworks is to confront a profound mystery. How could the Hopewell, without written records or advanced surveying techniques, create such majestic structures that align with the celestial rhythms of the moon? The Hopewell culture, flourishing in the Ohio Valley between 100 BCE and 500 CE, left behind no stone monuments or permanent cities, only these breathtaking earthworks. They were master artisans and astronomers, yet their wisdom seems almost otherworldly when one considers the precision with which they crafted the Newark Earthworks. The octagon is said to align with the moon's cycles, a feat that modern societies struggle to comprehend fully. Each curve and angle of the earth, a poem inscribed in soil, speaks of a people who understood the cosmos intimately. Yet the intent behind these shapes remains cloaked in shadows. Some believe the earthworks served as observatories, where the Hopewell tracked celestial events tied to their agricultural cycles. Others suggest they were sacred spaces for rituals that brought communities together in celebration of the sun and moon. The idea that these earthworks were designed for divine communication or as gateways to cosmic forces adds an air of mystique to their construction. Did the people who built them seek to align themselves with something greater, or perhaps to send messages to watchers unseen? Walking through the Newark Earthworks today feels like stepping into a living enigma. An otherworldly stillness envelops the site, and even the grass seems to murmur secrets of the past. Locals speak of ethereal lights flickering above the earthworks at night, while some visitors report their compasses spinning wildly, as if the land itself possesses a magnetic pulse. These phenomena deepen the sense that the Newark Earthworks are not merely archaeological remnants, but rather living testaments infused with the essence of their creators. The history of the Newark Earthworks is also one of loss. As settlers moved into Ohio in the 19th century, much of the site was plowed under. Roads were paved over ancient walls, and entire mounds vanished from memory. What remains today is a fraction of its original complexity, yet even these remnants tell a story of remarkable vision and ambition. The Great Circle stands, a sentinel of the past, while the octagon retains its mathematical precision, inviting awe and wonder. As modern archaeologists employ advanced technology to uncover the truths hidden beneath the soil, the Newark Earthworks continue to defy explanation. Was their purpose astronomical, ceremonial, or perhaps something beyond ordinary understanding? Each excavation unearths more questions than answers, hinting at a societal knowledge that transcends the written word. Some legends suggest that the Hopewell believed certain locations carried magnetic or spiritual energy, and that the Newark Earthworks were constructed to harness these forces. Rituals performed at these sacred sites may have been designed to align participants with the cosmos, creating a profound connection between the earthly and divine. Regardless of their purpose, the execution of such monumental structures speaks of a community bound together by a shared vision, a testament to what human beings can accomplish when united toward a common goal. As one walks along the embankments today, the weight of history presses gently upon the shoulders. The earth beneath one's feet has been shaped by hands that understood the delicate balance of ritual, astronomy, and community. Imagining the ceremonies, feasts, and dances that once took place within these sacred forms tugs at the heart, filling the air with echoes of psalms sung and prayers murmured into the night sky. Yet, the Newark Earthworks still guard their secrets closely. Every attempt to unravel their mysteries feels like a conversation with a wise elder who, though silent, resonates with knowledge that spans centuries. Why these shapes? Why here? The answers remain elusive, locked within the land itself, a treasure awaiting discovery. To stand among the Newark Earthworks is to confront the limits of human imagination. The heavy air, charged with unspoken stories, invites contemplation. Each curve and angle resonates with the aspirations of those who came before us, reminding us that humanity has always sought to reach for the stars. Here in Ohio, the earth remembers, whispering tales of a time long past, beckoning the curious to ponder, to dream, and to marvel at the enduring legacy of the Hopewell people. A lost treasure of Captain Kidd, Ohio's hidden fortune. Along the winding banks of the Ohio River, where the waters cut through forests and whisper over rocks, a secret has slept for centuries, hidden in plain sight. The river's shores, lush with greenery, rustled softly in the gentle breeze, carrying tales of treasure that had stirred the imaginations of countless adventurers and fortune seekers. This is the story of Captain William Kidd, the infamous pirate whose name still echoes across the oceans, and the lost treasure he is said to have hidden somewhere along Ohio's riverbanks, a treasure that has never been found and a mystery that continues to captivate the curious and the brave alike. Captain Kidd's journey began far from the Ohio River, on the tumultuous high seas of the late 17th century. Born in 1645 in the rugged hills of Scotland, he rose from a humble sailor to a renowned privateer, sanctioned by the English crown to hunt pirates. Yet, as tides shifted, the line dividing a privateer from a pirate blurred, and Kidd's fortune, fame, and infamy burgeoned from both valor and villainy. His exploits, daring raids on richly laden ships, fierce battles at sea, and clever escapes spread like wildfire across Europe and the Americas, painting him as a figure of both fear and respect. However, behind the glaring wealth he claimed publicly, it was the elusive treasure, stowed away in the shadows, that fueled legends. As the weight of accusations of piracy and betrayal bore down upon him, Captain Kidd found himself in desperate need of a sanctuary for his wealth, a place where no government, no sailor, and no rival pirate could pry it loose. Some whispered that he buried gold along the sunny coasts of the Caribbean, while others spoke in hushed tones of islands and hidden coves known only to those daring enough to follow his path. Yet over time, the tales grew more specific, pointing inland to the fertile valleys of the Ohio River. It was here, according to lore, that Kidd may have buried chests of silver coins, gold bars, and sparkling jewels, hidden beneath rocks, stashed in caves, or concealed in the thick forests lining the meandering waters. The Ohio River, with its serpentine flow cutting through the heart of the continent, served as the perfect hiding place. Remote, challenging to navigate, and dotted with islands, bluffs, and secret coves, it offered countless nooks where treasure could vanish without a trace. Over the centuries, countless hunters followed the river's winding path, probing every island, tapping rocks, scanning for disturbed earth, and diving into hidden creeks. Yet the treasure remains elusive, as if the river itself guards its secret jealously. Throughout history, many have recorded their attempts to discover kids' treasure. In the 1800s, prospectors armed with rudimentary maps, family legends, and whispered tips combed the river from Cincinnati to the Kentucky border, digging in every hollow and on every island they could reach. Some claim to have unearthed coins or fragments of treasure, only to find remnants of past travelers or natural debris. Other legends spoke of eerie occurrences, diggers hearing footsteps when no one was near, or shadows flitting among the trees just as they struck promising ground. Others were thwarted by floods, quicksand, or collapsing riverbanks, leaving their finds forever at the river's mercy. Yet, the allure of Captain Kidd's fortune proved irresistible. Stories circulated of families who devoted their lives to the treasure hunt, passing down hints, maps, and coded letters through generations. Folklore entwined with fact, leading some to believe that the treasure was cursed, haunted by Kidd's restless spirit, who emerged to mislead or frighten those who dared to draw near. Others argued that natural traps, collapsing caves, treacherous currents, or fierce wildlife sufficed to protect the treasure without invoking any supernatural force. Maps and rumors varied wildly, with some depicting locations near towering cliffs along the river, where Kidd supposedly buried chests beneath imposing stones marked by subtle scratches or carvings. Others suggested he hid his riches in abandoned cabins or hollow trees, leaving behind cryptic symbols to guide future seekers. Native American legends wove into the tale, claiming the land itself had absorbed the pirate's secret, suggesting that only those in tune with the rhythms of the river and forest could hope to locate it. As the centuries rolled on, the legend of Kidd's treasure grew. Treasure hunters flocked from across the United States and even Europe, drawn by the promise of gold and the thrilling chase. Some were earnest seekers, equipped with tools and maps, while others were charlatans peddling authentic directions for a price, preying on the greed and fantasies of those willing to risk everything. The riverbanks were scoured, forests combed, and islands explored, yet the treasure remained tantalizingly out of reach, teasing humanity with its elusive charm. Modern technology has injected new hope into the quest. Metal detectors, ground-penetrating radar, and sonar have opened up areas previously thought unreachable. Some have detected anomalies, clusters of metal, strange soil disturbances, or hidden chambers, but none have led to confirmed discoveries. The mystery lingers, sparking speculation that the treasure may never be found, or that it has already been unearthed and stealthily removed by those clever enough to beat the river to it. The legend has imprinted itself deeply within the local culture. Folklore is sprinkled with tales of ghosts, flickering lights along the river at night, and the haunting sound of shovels striking hollow earth when no one is digging. Many believe the treasure is cursed, warning that those who seek it with greed in their hearts will never find it, or worse, befall misfortune. Families pass down these stories with reverence and caution, whispering that the river remembers and that the treasure is more than mere gold. It embodies a legacy of secrecy, cunning, and peril. Today, the idea of Captain Kidd's treasure along the Ohio River stirs the imagination like never before. To search for it is to step into the shoes of pirates and explorers, traversing landscapes shaped by centuries of nature and human endeavor, and to imagine the bravery of a man who defied kings, governments, and the tumultuous seas. Each hidden cove, every rocky bluff, each island in the Ohio River transforms into a theater of possibility, where the past collides with the present, and where the promise of discovery ignites hearts and sharpens eyes to every shadow. Some theorists go even further, proposing that the treasure might be an intentional test of character, intelligence, or courage. Only those deemed worthy, those who respect the land, the river, and its mysteries, could stake their claim. Thus, the treasure transcends mere gold. It becomes a riddle encoded in geography, history, and human ingenuity, awaiting someone capable of seeing through the myths and grasping the subtle cues hidden in plain sight. Despite centuries of searching, the lost treasure of Captain Kidd in Ohio remains one of America's most tantalizing mysteries. Maps, stories, and legends have flowed from one generation to another, keeping the dream alive. And though many have tried, the river guards its secret fiercely, perhaps destined to remain hidden, a reminder that some things are not meant to be claimed, that some mysteries endure, to inspire, to thrill, and to connect us with a time when pirates roamed the seas and hid their fortunes far from the waves. Even the mere possibility of discovery has shaped human behavior. Entire families have devoted lifetimes to piecing together clues, deciphering old maps, and listening to tales passed down through the decades. Communities along the Ohio River continue to share stories of peculiar disturbances in the woods, glimmers of metal obscured beneath rocks, and the unsettling sensation of being observed while searching alone at twilight. These legends endure, living threads that connect the present with centuries of human fascination, courage, and ambition. And so, the lost treasure awaits, somewhere along the winding course of the Ohio River. It lies beneath the soil, behind rocks, or hidden in secret hollows, safeguarded by the cunning of a long-dead pirate and the mysteries of a river that refuses to surrender its secrets. The gold may glimmer only in the imagination, but the hunt itself is as real as the river's current, thrilling, perilous, and eternal. To seek it is to chase history, to pursue legend, and perhaps to glimpse the daring spirit of Captain Kidd himself, lurking in every shadow along the river's edge. Ohio's lost treasure is more than just a tale. It is a journey into the unknown, an invitation to adventure, and a testament to the power of legend. Those who follow the river, tracing the whispers of the past, and daring to dream of unimaginable fortune, partake in a story that has endured for centuries, a story that refuses to die, no matter how many seek it, no matter how far the river flows. As the sun sets over the Ohio River, casting golden reflections upon the water, one cannot help but feel the pull of history, the thrill of mystery, and the unending promise that somewhere, buried beneath earth and shadow, Captain Kidd's treasure still waits. The Loveland Frogman, Ohio's amphibian enigma. On the quiet banks of the Little Miami River near Loveland, Ohio, dusk wrapped the landscape in a shroud of mystery. The night air was thick with the scent of damp earth and wildflowers, while the water lapped gently at the shore, whispering secrets only the river knew. Locals spoke in hushed tones about shadows that danced just beyond the tree line, of glowing eyes that reflected the moonlight, and of a figure that straddled the line between man and beast. This was the legend of the Loveland Frogman, a strange creature that had haunted the Ohio River Valley for decades, a living enigma that refused to fade into obscurity. The first stories emerged in the 1950s, tales carried on the breath of those who drove the lonely roads that skirted the river. They spoke of a being standing 3 to 4 feet tall, its bulging eyes glistening in the headlights, and its rough, leathery skin shimmering like wet stones. Unlike any animal, it walked upright, each clumsy step echoing an unsettling imitation of humanity. At first, these accounts were dismissed as drunken fabrications or campfire tales meant to frighten children. Yet the sightings persisted, voiced by people with no history of wild imagination and nothing to gain. The legend took a darker turn in March of 1972. On separate nights, 2 police officers encountered the creature, their reports igniting a firestorm of fear and fascination. The first officer, on a routine patrol, spotted what he assumed was an animal. A thought quickly shattered when the figure stood up on 2 legs, locking its glowing eyes onto his. The shock of recognition coursed through him as the creature darted over the guardrail and vanished into the river. He would later describe its amphibious features in chilling detail, a grotesque reality too strange to dismiss as mere folly. Days later, another officer had an almost identical encounter, bringing forth a truth that locals had long feared. Something lurked in Loveland that defied explanation. From that moment, the Loveland Frogman was woven into the fabric of Ohio folklore. Newspapers splashed the story across their pages. Skeptics scoffed from the shadows, while believers whispered fervently, their imaginations ignited. Speculation ran rampant. Some thought it a mutant born from the chemicals once dumped into the river. others believed it to be a hidden species of humanoid amphibian. A few even ventured to suggest it was a guardian spirit of the river, surfacing only when disturbed. Yet, it was not solely the creature's grotesque appearance that sent shivers down spines. It was its uncanny behavior. Witnesses often described it clutching something resembling a wand or stick that emitted sparks, leaving everyone to ponder. Was it a tool, a weapon, or merely a trick of the mind? This element added a haunting depth to the legend, suggesting an intelligence or purpose behind its grotesque form. Skeptics attempted to rationalize the phenomenon, arguing that misidentified large frogs or escaped exotic pets might account for the sightings. One officer even claimed his 1972 encounter was merely an iguana, a statement made in an apparent bid to quell the ridicule that had begun to swirl around him. Yet for those who lived in Loveland, the notion of a frog walking upright continued to haunt their imaginations, the image of glowing eyes glaring from the roadside, too vivid to forget. As time wore on, the Frogman became a symbol of Loveland itself, embodying a strange blend of fear and fascination. Campers reported glowing eyes haunting the riverbanks. Fishermen spoke of ripples disturbing the stillness, and tales of a creature crossing the road in front of cars only deepened the legend's roots. Every new sighting stitched another thread into the rich tapestry of mystery, ensuring the Frogman remained alive in the hearts and minds of the townsfolk. Folklorists noted that Ohio was steeped in tales of the strange. Mysterious creatures and cryptids thrived in the region's lore. The Loveland Frogman, with its unique blend of human-like and animal traits, fits seamlessly into this tradition. However, its persistence in the face of rational explanation and its specificities made it hard to dismiss. Psychologists argued that legends like the Frogman reflected a deeper human anxiety, the fear of the unknown lurking just beyond the fringes of civilization. The river, a stage for the creature, embodied our primal fears about pollution, evolution, and uncontrollable forces. Yet, those who had glimpsed the creature spoke of its presence as palpable, undeniable, and terrifying, not merely a representation of abstract fears. Some theorized that the Frogman was not a singular entity but a species, cleverly eluding detection within the vast waterways and forests of Ohio. Amphibians, capable of thriving both in water and on land, raised questions about what might lurk unseen. The river's intricate system of caves and tunnels was largely uncharted by human hands, leaving ample room for speculation. What if something truly did reside in those depths, waiting to be discovered? Others considered a more mystical angle, linking the Frogman to Native American legends of guardians of waterways, spirits that protected sacred places. Through this lens, the reported wand-like object could be seen as a ritual tool, its spokes glowing with spiritual energy. In this interpretation, the creature transformed from a mere monster to a being beyond human comprehension, glimpsed only in moments when the veil between worlds thins. Regardless of the interpretation, the Frogman captivated imaginations far beyond Loveland. It echoed through art, stories, and local festivals, becoming an icon of both fear and pride. The community embraced the legend, blending humor with their eerie fascination, ensuring the creature remained a beloved yet terrifying reminder that mysteries still weave through the fabric of modern life. Yet beneath the humor lay an unease that could not be easily dismissed. Police officers did not mistake iguanas for humanoid forms, and fishermen rarely imagined glowing eyes in the dark. Too many accounts, too many details, and too much consistency existed for the legend to dissipate. Something lingered along the banks of Loveland, whether flesh, spirit, or figment of imagination, refusing to leave. As twilight settled over the Little Miami River, the air cooled, and the trees cast elongated shadows over the shimmering water. The symphony of frogs and crickets filled the night, but interspersed with their sounds were distant splashes, the snapping of branches and deep croaks that felt too profound to belong to any ordinary creature. Those who dared to listen closely could sense the weight of unseen eyes upon them, as if the darkness itself had come alive. Perhaps it was mere nerves playing tricks, but perhaps it was indeed something more. A silent guardian of Loveland, the Frogman, watching from the shadows, reminding us that even in the heart of Ohio, the unknown is always just a heartbeat away. The legend endures, touching something primal and raw. We yearn for a world that is understood, measured, and explained. Yet deep within, we know shadows remain. The Loveland Frogman thrives in those shadows, refusing to be dismissed, an amphibious enigma that stalks the riverbanks, lurking just at the edge of light, forever haunting the dreams of those who dare to imagine the unsolvable mysteries that life presents.